Hi there, I'm John O'Hurley for 19 years, co-host of the National Dog Show and broadcasting partner of David Frei. Well, the most noticeable difference this year is that David and I will actually be enjoying the show as you are. When you're watching it, we'll be watching it as well because we'll be in the comfort of our homes. We will not be on campus there this year for the first time. We'll be under our own roofs enjoying turkey with our families as you will be, but we'll be still broadcasting the show. We will have the normal protocols that we've seen on television during the pandemic, where masks will be worn by both the handlers and the judges. Everything will be practicing social distancing. But aside from that, it's still going to be the same wonderful presentation that we try to bring you every one of these last 19 years. This year will be a little different because it's going to be, we've upped the standards a little bit. It's champions only. So we have 500 to 600 dogs rather than 2,000 dogs. And we think that's going to make a little bit more of an interesting show. Certainly, we're going to be seeing the best of the best. It is nice to be back. It's nice to have something so important. And I think that because we are such a family tradition as I say, for the last 19 years, it was very, very important to all of us, not only on the production team, but NBC as well, to make sure that we brought this show back because people deserve something that is kind and gentle and family oriented over this wonderful Thanksgiving period. And as difficult a year as it's been, we still have to be grateful for each other and especially for the dogs in our lives. Thor was a large surprise to not only the viewing audience, but to David and I. Thor had to go up against Bono, who had been on its way to, was on its way to winning a record number of Best in Shows, Bono being a little Havanese. So to say the competition was stiff was an understatement. And David, I think you'll concur. On Thanksgiving Day, you want something that everybody can watch, and whether you're 4 or you're 94, there's something there for you. Well, I think the fact that David and I are close friends and that friendship has developed over the 19 years we have been together probably answers the question of why we have a kind of a special camaraderie on screen. It also takes place off screen, and we're genuine friends, and as are our families and our dogs. The success of the show really goes back to the fact that it's pure entertainment, and right now that's what we need. The dogs are not competitive with each other. Frankly, they don't really care who wins. They're looking for a few good sniffs and a lot of fun, and they absorb the energy in the room. It's really a wonderful day when you're. As I like to describe it, the easiest thing to do is to be around 2,000 dogs. Every time you're around a dog, it changes the energy. And so if you can imagine 15,000 people having that same experience of 2,000 dogs in the room, everybody is the best that they can be. Everybody is smiling, and it's just a happy, wonderful day. And we hope that that carries over into all of the homes across America for at least a 2-hour period, that they can put a smile on their face and have a sense of the genuine peace that dogs bring us. Well, the wonderful thing about the National Dog Show is that it is a benched show. It's one of the last remaining benched shows, which means that all of the dogs and the handlers will have to remain backstage during the entire day of the show. So it means that we have an active audience there of 10, 15, 20,000 people that are allowed to walk up and down the aisles, interact with the owners, the handlers, the dogs themselves, and talk and get some information about breeds that they've never seen before. Remember, we'll have 200 plus breeds there. Most people have a working knowledge of maybe 4 or 5 or 6 breeds, but there are so many to ask about and see if this is the right dog for your personal lifestyle. So it's a very educational and a very interactive day as well. But backstage, make no mistake, there's a lot of primping and preening, and they're trying to look the best that they can, because once they're in the ring, that's it. They got a show. In the Best in Show class, when they had the Great Dane was doing its walk around the arena, it stopped right in front of the NBC booth where David and I were. It stopped dead in its tracks, looks at me, and then proceeds to squat down and leave what I would say was a rather large editorial comment right there on the rug. It stopped the show and the entire arena because now the people the hazmat team had to come out and shovel it up. And it took a while, but the show eventually went on. Well, it's been a wonderful evolution over the last 19 years to not only see the results and the ratings of the show, but to, as you're walking around and people begin to recognize you for being the patriarchs of the show, if you will, and how much they enjoy the show and what it brings to them and how much they've learned. Because we try to be an educational show as well as an entertainment vehicle. And to the extent that we have succeeded in that is to the extent that we have really enjoyed our place in what has become kind of a national tradition. I don't know that they're man's best friend. My wife would probably like to jump in between there and plead her case as well. But I would say that dogs represent the closest thing to know that there are angels in this world. Dogs live to love, and that's all they know how to do. They learn to live in the present moment, and they remind us of that they don't live in the future or the past. They forgive themselves for what they did on the floor 15 minutes ago. And, these are wonderful lessons for us as well. They teach us so much, and they ask for so little in return. We just give them the scraps that they need. But that relationship is unique and never ending. A dog is all about love. As I have said before, wheresoever there are dogs, there is love.